BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to BodyBags. It's week 207, and I'm your Sunday host, Bourgie86, here again. Yes, guys, it's that time for the Sunday review, and I got a really fun one. Of course, I got an Italian flick for you guys. I love me some Italian flicks, as you know, and this is a film that I actually grew up watching. Numerous editions I had of this film. Pretty much when I was growing up, Blue Underground released this in the States, and they released it in a few different editions, and I decided to pick up this edition of the film because I actually really enjoy this film for what it is. It's not a masterpiece, spoiler alert, but it's not. But it's a super fun film, of course, and this comes from 1980, and it goes by various different titles, this film. It goes by either like... the title that I probably most notably know, and the title that I'm going to use to do the review on is Hell of the Living Dead, of course. But it also goes by the title Virus and Zombie Creeping Flesh, which is its video nasty title. And 88 Films released it under that title, and it came with this gorgeous slipcover. I wanted to show you the slipcover first before I get into the review. If you get this through 88 Films now, it comes with like this limited edition slipcover, and it incorporates various arts from the film, even in like the booklet. It also goes by the title of Night of the Zombies. That's another infamous title, and Virus, of course, right there. But I know it pretty notably as Hell of the Living Dead. That's what Blue Underground released it while I was growing up here. But yeah, Zombie Creeping Flesh, or Hell of the Living Dead, or Virus. Numerous titles for Italian movies, of course. And if you don't know about this one's directed by infamous Schlock director Bruno Mattei. Of course, probably most notably known for like directing films like The Other Hell, Rats, Night of Terror. A few of his later ones that I've seen are like Island of the Living Dead and Zombies the Beginning, which pretty iconic for being rip-off films, and this one's a rip-off film also. And of course, if you don't know about this film, it's written and actually co-directed by another master of Schlock himself, Claudio Fagazzo, of course, who would go on to direct like infamy with like Troll 2, Monster Dog, Beyond the Darkness, numerous other films that Claudio Fagazzo has directed and wrote, and he's pretty much the team member of Bruno Mattei's crew, especially during this time period. Wrote numerous amounts of his films, and even actually kind of funny that I'm actually wearing a Zombie 3 shirt right now. Of course, if you don't know, Bruno Mattei and Claudio Fagazzo finished that film for Lucio Fulci after he left production on it. And Claudio Fagazzo actually wrote the screenplay for that film. But now getting into Hell of the Living Dead, aka Zombie Creeping Flesh. Pretty much what ends up happening in the beginning of this film is there's this power plant. That's what it seems to be, to me anyways. And there's like a chemical spill in this power plant in New Guinea, where this film takes place. And it turns like everyone around it into like these flesh-eating zombies, pretty much. So what ends up happening is the government sends like this 4 commando unit that we meet in the beginning also during like this terrorist takeover. And they end up going to investigate. So pretty much the film is their journey to where the film began, pretty much. So on their way there, they end up meeting like this group of reporters, including this female reporter and her cameraman boyfriend. And they end up tagging along with them because they couldn't leave them just right there where they met them and stuff, because there was like zombies attacking them and stuff. So they end up taking them there, and basically what ends up happening is it's pretty much you get to point A to point B type story while you're trying to fight like these undead armies of the undead. And that's pretty much the main plot of it, or the gist of it. They end up trying to go investigate this place, and on their journey there, they end up fighting zombies and stuff. That's pretty much the main plot, and trying to survive. Now, my thoughts on this film. Very fun film, man. It's not perfect by any means. Like there's some cheesy dialogue and stuff because I did watch this in the dub version, and it's just typical classic Bruno Mattei / Claudio Fragazzo goodness. Of course, a lot of the scenes have interesting rip-off styles because you can even tell like the outfits that the group of commandos are wearing are reminiscent of like George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, with the SWAT team unit that's in that film, like Peter and Roger's characters. They have the same type of outfits, and actually, kind of funny story because this film soundtrack is credited as Goblin. It is Goblin, but it's not a new soundtrack. It's of course typical Bruno Mattei goodness. He incorporates music from Dawn of the Dead and Contamination in this film. So that's pretty much the main soundtrack to this one is songs from Dawn of the Dead and pretty much mostly Contamination. Like that main theme to Contaminations in this film throughout it in serious ways. And that's not only the other thing, they just don't use stock music. They also use stock footage to fill in scenes. There's a scene in particular where they're going to stay with this New Guinea tribe pretty much in the jungle. And most of those scenes are stock footage. And it's kind of funny because you see these monkeys and creatures and stuff throughout the scenes during they're having dialogues while they're driving in the Jeep. And pretty much you see the stock footage monkey 10 times the same scene over and over again. It's the same exact scene, and it's fucking hilarious because they're trying to have this serious conversation about what's going on and why they think it's going on. And then they show this fucking slow motion monkey jumping through a tree through it. It's fucking hilarious. It's the funniest fucking thing ever. And of course when they most of the village footage is this burial footage that they use from the real Cannibal Holocaust documentary. I believe that's what it was that was released, and you can see the full documentary, the footage from that documentary. But then they have this guy with a mask inside the stock footage, and then they have a guy with a mask that interacts with the actors, and it's a completely different mask, and it's off-putting because the mask is completely different and it's cheesy, and the way that the people in the stock footage looks doesn't look exactly the way that the people that are interacting with our main characters. So it's kind of funny in that aspect, but it's super fun. It's got some great gore to it. The zombie kills and stuff are awesome, and even the zombies eating people scenes are fucking awesome. There's a scene in particular that involves a cat that fucking kind of freaked me the fuck out the first time I watched it. I kind of laugh now at it because of the scene that it takes place after that. But it's fucking crazy. There's a fucking cat scene in this movie. That's the way I'm going to describe it. I kind of want to spoil it for you unless you haven't seen this film. But it's super fun. So yeah, I highly recommend this if you're a fan of cheesy, low grade Italian zombie films. This is definitely one that you have to check out and own. And the transfer from 88 Films is fantastic. I actually do own Blue Underground's Blu-ray of this film, and this one's way better. It has a lot of the grain and stuff that happens with it. It looks very colorful. The color is vibrant. It doesn't have even the stock footage scenes. You could tell the difference in the Blue Underground version. But yeah, it's fucking super fun. So if I had to rate Hell of the Living, aka Zombie Creeping Flesh, give it a solid 7 out of 10. Super fun ride, especially if you're a fan of the zombie genre. And Bruno Mattei films, they're just super fun, cheesy goodness. So yeah, Hell of the Living Dead, aka Zombie Creeping Flesh, 7 out of 10. Awesome shit. Alright guys, that's it for this review. It's running a little longer because a lot of stuff to talk about with this one. Awesome Bruno Mattei goodness. And I'll see you next week, guys. Peace out.